Got a few comments about the assembly of the U.S. General Folding clamping workbench with moving pegs. You get these at Harbor Freight. Here's your Harbor Freight number. These are on YouTube. People have comments about replacing the particle board top, but I just wanted to share my experience with putting it together real quickly. Here's my workbench upside down. The first thing I did following the instructions is when I put it together, I found these pre-drilled holes for these screws didn't line up with the bracket. The one on one end will pivot, but you don't want to do that. Turns out the problem is because these brackets are folded like this, they don't align. So you have to spread these when you put them on. That's all. Just spread them out a little bit, put them in. When you put them on, everybody's going to want to use their DeWalt impact screwdriver. You're going to want a longer bit. Use your longer bit. That way you have clearance to assemble. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is when you assemble it, they give you these bolts with a locking nut, which is good. What you want to do when you assemble it, you use your own impact screwdriver. They provide this wrench, which is nice. Don't have to worry about going to your toolbox to get one. You place your washer under the head of the bolt, under the nut. There is no sleeve that goes inside it, as it should have, to prevent you from crushing the tubing. This is very lightweight tubing. And as a foul language guy says, you know, this is just put together in an awful manner. 20 bucks, hey, 20 bucks. So when you tighten this, it does have a wrench or a Phillips, so you can do it with your impact. Well, you just want to tighten it until this will turn free. You don't want to compress that tube, because once you start compressing the tube, you start losing strength. Okay. Now the next place you want to look is when you put these braces on here, they just provide you a screw, a washer, and a nut. Again, there is no sleeve to go inside here. No sleeve inside here to prevent you from compressing this tin. Look at how they built it right here. You can see that? See how that's all squeezed down real simple and easy? Let me show you. I don't know if you can see how thin the material is. Well, that's okay, because I don't expect a lot out of this. But just remember, when you start compressing this steel, that box strength goes away really quickly. So my suggestion when you tighten that up with your impact is you just tighten it till it's contacting, and then you get it so you can give this maybe a quarter turn. And that's all you would do, just a quarter turn, so you don't compress it. Then I would recommend, and I don't know that these come loose from experience, but you know, if you get to using this a bit, I think it would. I would recommend a drop of Loctite on here. Now you can put the Loctite on before you start. You can use red, blue, whatever. I would say even after you assemble it, you could throw on some, they have Loctite for assembled fasteners. Honestly, you could put hot melt glue on the outside of it. You could put, you could probably even get away with just Gorilla Glue. Just put a drop right on the outside of it. Something that is going to lock that in place. This is not a race engine. It's not a part of your car or truck or trailer. It's going to see a lot of vibration. But you would like something so it's not going to come loose. And when you go to grab it the next time you use it, you find that it's all loose and you got to waste your time tightening it. So I would recommend that. So those are a couple of tips I suggest when you put it together so there's no confusion. Spread these don't over tighten these, and do not over tighten these. Now, the other videos, they tell you these holes don't line up, blah, blah, blah. Don't leave it outside. It's particle board. I was actually at an auction where I saw a Black & Decker workmate, and I thought, hey, I ought to buy that. Well, you know, the tragedy of an outdoor auction is the workmate, excuse me, was brought there 2 or 3 days before the auction. Well, it was a springtime auction. This poor workmate sat out there for those 3 days, and that particle board absorbed the water like a sponge. Those top boards, from being nicely kept, they went to crap. So they needed replaced. So whatever you paid for that workmate, you were just buying the frame. The board on top was a total loss. So my purpose, I'm going to use it as a little workbench to, I'm going to try to make a trophy. And you can move on from your video here, but I bought this cup. It's going to be a revolving trophy, yeah, for a horse show. Whoop, can't turn it like that, sorry. So I'm going to actually use hardwood flooring that I bought at Grossman's Outlet, and I'm going to try to make a little nice wooden base. And so to do that, I'm going to use this workbench, glue this couple sections of wide hardwood flooring together, plane it down, make my 11-inch square base, mount my cup to it, put a label on it. Hopefully it'll look like something special. And I'll have about, I'll have too much into it, but these loving cup trophies like that, they go for $300-400. So I'm not going to have anywhere near that. So anyhow, just a tip on this bench and a use for it. Thanks.